There, in a hidden chamber, closed and mute. Now, what is self-known to those beings, which the gods are not aware? The gods are not aware of many things which are kept hidden, which are secret. They are not aware of the secret knowledge. Gods don't have a secret knowledge which has been given to us in Canto 4 and we are lucky to know about the secret knowledge, the purpose of the whole thing, you see, secret knowledge. They are in a hidden chamber, closed and mute. Yeah, it doesn't speak at all. Are kept the record grasp, the cosmic scribe. So these are the things which are not unknown to the God. Gods are not aware of these things. See, when he says now this line, he is kind of elaborating this particular phrase, you see. There in a hidden chamber, closed and mute, are kept the record grasp of the cosmic scribe. The cosmic scribe has written down what should happen, what should not happen, how should move. See, all those things are there. Are kept the record grasp of the cosmic scribe. And there, the tables of the sacred law, they are all there. The gods are not aware of the sacred laws, you see. You see. They are not aware of the sacred laws. There is the book of being, index page. Yes, the book of being is there. Now all the indexes are there, all the references are there, everything is marked there completely. See. Now this book of being is not present in Savitri. We have got 12 books, but there is no book of being there in Savitri. There is no book of bliss also in Savitri, you see. But book of being is in fact, I would say, the first part of Savitri is the book of being. Is the book of being. The entire description pertaining to Ashwapati belongs to that book of being. Sat, being, Sat, existence. The entire operation. There is the book of beings, index page, the text and glossary, yeah.
There. Where is it?
There, in the hidden chamber.
Yes, but there, hidden chamber.
There in a hidden chamber. You see,
Is it over?
up there, in that realm, up there. Yeah, yeah. Obviously, now this is all over. Mind is left behind. Is up there. Beings of glory up there. Yeah, supermind. This whole description is about the supramental beginnings. In fact, you can see that what we have here, we have already seen that the uniqueness of Ashwapati, that he gets this knowledge, he is the first person to get this knowledge of the new creation which is embedded in the very scheme of things. When the divine started manifestation, the new creation is embedded already in the very scheme of things. And Ashwapati is the first to know this thing, you see. And that happens up there always, constantly, you see. The gods are not aware of that thing. They are oblivious of it. That tomorrow there is going to be a new creation, gods are not aware of it. They are working all right. Therefore, I said this learn is in that English sense. I learn that tomorrow is going to rain. It's in awareness. It's not learning, you see. It's in awareness. I am getting information, details. In that sense, learn, you see. That learn here is in that sense, you see. They are not aware of this thing at all, you see.
The first line of Canto 5, this knowledge first.
Pardon?
The first line, this knowledge first. I mean, he is the first.
Absolutely. Yeah, I will explain to you that part. Those first 2-3 sentences. We spent about half an hour on that. He is the first, of course. Yeah. All that the gods have learned is they are self-known. They are up in the supramental realm. He is now beginning. As I said, now all this thing in the case of Sri Aurobindo is as early as during 1908 to 1911. During those 3-4 years, he has already all those things. He is the first to know. He is the first to know already. So autobiographically, this is a very, very powerful kind of a statement, assertion of his spiritual realization. Of his spiritual realization. From 1912 onward, he started writing a record of yoga. Now that is how he got the knowledge of supermind, the knowledge of the future, and all that thing he already has now here during those 3-4 years. Then now it is a question of making it the fact of the earth. So then begins mother's arrival, then begins the Arya, where he is now he is not doing anything for himself now, because he already has that. So there is no question of he is having. Now our great friend, the lives of Shrebendu, says that Shrebendu was ascending to supermind till 1921. He is already here in 1908, 1909, 1910. He is already here. Shrebendu was ascending to supermind during that period. Means Arya period had nothing to do with the supermind at all. So all that thing came was without the understanding, without the knowledge, without the living experience of supermind, which is in fact falsifying the whole of Arya itself. All his Arya writings, you see. Well, that is a separate story, but they are in a hidden chamber. You see, because the gods are not aware of the things we are saying that day. And mute are kept the record grants of cosmic scribe. And there the table to the sacred law, the holy law, the law of dharma, law of truth. Sacred does not mean holy, sacred means the laws of truth. Table to the sacred law. There is the book of beings, index page. The text and glossary of the Vedic truth are there. Now that is the richness of Vedic truth. See? Vedic knowledge is there. Now this Vedic knowledge therefore naturally belongs to the supramental world. Vedic knowledge. That is why I am saying, making a distinction between the knowledge of Rigveda and the knowledge of other scriptures. The knowledge of Rigveda really belongs to Satyam, Mrutam, Brahat, Sachidananda, Supermind, you see. Knowledge of Rigveda particularly. That is what this is asserting, this book, you see. Vedic truths are there. The rhythms and meters of the star. The rhythms and meters of the star. What a powerful sentence this one now. The rhythms and meters of the star. He is talking about the Vedic truth and rhythms and meters of the star. Rhythms and meters. Now, in this book, I got a list of the rhythms and meters of the stars. I will read a couple of things from this book. Page 309 of this book. He has got that book, page 309. Now, about the meters of Vedic poetry, there are 7 more significant meters. 7 significant meters in the Vedic poetry. There are many, but 7 are most prominent, you see. Now, about them we'll see then. See, Dirgha Tamasa, he is one of the rishis of Rigveda, speaks of meter based on meter. Meter based on meter. What we have as a meter, as a scale or whatever you want to call it, is based on some other meter. It is not this. It is there already. That meter is there, that scale is there, that movement is there, that rhythm is there, up there. That rhythm is there. It is based on that rhythm. You have a rhythm here. In other words, poetry is first there and then it is kind of presented here. Dirikatama speaks of meter based on Gayatri. Our Gayatri meter. Tasaviturvaram Rupam. That Gayatri is already up there and it is kind of transcribed in our language here as Gayatri. Gayatri based on Gayatri. Jagati on Jagati. Therefore, if he knows the rhythms and the movement to the first original Gayatri, how that Gayatri moves, how the Jagati moves, how those meters move, how they unroll. If we know that Gayatri on which Gayatri, then it must have been the same in this Gayatri composition. See, if the Rishi is aware of the movement of that Gayatri, and when he is writing a Gayatri here, it means that he is bringing that movement in this Gayatri here. So first, when Shivantu is writing the Gayatri mantra, for instance, as an example, what the rishis also have done, their meters, they already saw that movements up there, and it is that movement which they have transcribed in verse form here for us. This is Gayatri composition. He had an access to the original Gayatri. Hence, it is by that rhythm or cadence or enunciation that he must have read his own composition. How do you read Gayatri Mantra? See, we try to read, for instance, this English poetry also here, Savitri also we read in our own way, but actually this Savitri meter is based on a kind of a pentametric movement which is up there. Shivantu is not really writing pentametric verses here. He sees a pentametric verse there. He sees a Gayatri there, and it is that Gayatri he is writing here. So when you are reading Gayatri Mantra, when you are listening to the pentametric verse there, it is that voice which should be able to get here. So when you are reading the text and glossary of the Vedic truth, now actually that movement should really come from there, not from our mechanical movement to see. That is what the Gayatri is based on Gayatri. In other words, you have to have direct contact first with that Gayatri, then you can recite this Gayatri, you can recite this mantra. That is one reference. The other reference is, page 408. In Sanskrit Prasadi, you see, how does it start? Poetry. In Sanskrit Prasadi, the syllables are heavy, light and short, you see, depending upon the time spent on uttering them. Bhishma, Garva. You see how long you spend the time on that, you see. In a particular metrical scheme, their positions are fixed and no departure is permissible. The most common Vedic Sanskrit meters, Rigveda, most common meters are Gayatri, Ushnika, Anushtuba, Brahati, Pankti, Trishtuba, Jagati. 7 meters. Gayatri, Ushnika, Anushtuba, Brahati, Pankti, Trishtuba, and Jagati. Now, roughly 2/5 of Rigveda, about 40% of Rigveda, the verses are in what is called Trishtuba meter. Trishtuba meter, you see. Trishtuba means there are 44 syllables in a line. 44 syllables in a line. That is Trishtuba, you see. 11, 11, 11, 11, like that. 4 parts of a line. I will read, for instance, one thing. Ashvachate atrapitaya manma nachakshasem sumrikaya devam devaya shastrimrutaya shansam graveva sota madhusudam imile. So these are the meters. That is the Trishtuba, 44 syllables in 4 parts. You see, like that. You see. Now, rhythms and meters of the stars. So these are the, let me give one more example here. Page 410. The number of meters or chandas that are found in Rigveda is 19. The total number of meters are 19 meters. You see, in Sanskrit Prasadi there are many more, but in the Rigveda proper there are 19 meters. In order of number of richas in them, the sequence is the highest number of verses in that order. Trishtuba first, that is 44 syllables. Then comes Gayatri. Gayatri means 24 syllables, you see. Gayatri. Anushtuba means 32 syllables. Pankti, Upragna, Brahati, Dvipada, Virata, etc. So these are the meters in the Sanskrit language. Well, let me read them here again. That is better. Gayatri has 24 syllables. Ushnika 28. See, all of them are going steps of 4. 24, 28, 32, 36, they go in that steps of 4. Gayatri 24, Ushnika 28, Anushtuba 32, Brahati 36, Pankti 40, Trishtuba 44. These are the most common meters in Sanskrit, in Vedic Prasadis. Then there are many other things like that. Will skip those details, you see. So it is now what he's saying here is the rhythms and meters of the star, the rhythm, the text and glossary of the Vedic truths are there. The rhythms and the movements and truth, that is rhythm. The Sanskrit word is rhythm, movement, dynamical flow of things, see, that is rhythm. The rhythms and meters. Now, he says, those are the meters which govern our meters. First, you have got a Gayatri there, and then that Gayatri is transcribed in our language here. So the rhythms and meters are significant to the moments of our fate. See, they have got a kind of a relationship, universal relationship here. The stars mark our fate, our future, our possibilities. That means there is a sort of an original truth movement up there, and the truth movement is governed by a certain kind of a lower system here. See. So there is a book of beings in index page. The text and glossary of the very truths are there. The rhythms and meters of the star, significant to the movements of our fate. The symbol powers of number and of form. 1, 2, 3, 4, Sapta, why Shatam, 100. They have got. See, now I have given here now 7 meters to Rigveda, which are there up there. Gayatri, Anushtuvam, Jagati, etc. like that. Now, I will even extend that thing further also by saying that there is the original hexameter up there. And what Homer got, somehow he had opened himself to the supreme hexameter and he had transcribed that thing into Greek language as a hexameter here. So the original hexameter is there, and it is that hexameter which is now in Odyssey and Ilion. As we have got Jagati, as we got Gayatri, as we got Anushtupa, etc. Those meters are there. Same way there is an hexametric movement also up there, and Homer caught it and gave that thing to the Greek language as an extension of that thing. Not really as an extension of that thing, but as a kind of a new creation of movement, of rhythms and meters. Sri Aurobindo has found the original pentameter up there. It is not this line significant to the movements of a star. It is not that pentametric line. It is there up there. It is that pentameter which he has discovered there, and it is that he has translated, transcribed, brought down into the English form here. See. So the number of feet, number of syllables, etc. are governed by that movement there, and they have come down here in that form. So the actual pentameter of Savitri is first up there, and it is that what we see now in our book called Savitri, you see. By his genius, poetic creation, by his effort, by his power of bringing it down, he has given that thing in the English language. But first he has established that meter up there. So that is the richness of pentameter, see. Now that happens to very few meters. See, only a great yogi can do that sort of a thing. He can create a new meter, a new rhythm, a new movement, and establish that thing. Once that is established here, then it can be brought down here, you see. So that is the way to look at the prosody of any language. So when you are talking of pentameter, you really first establish your contact with the pentameter which is there up in the transcendent, that movement, the truth movement which is there, and then bring it down here in our expression here, you see. Now that very, you can always compose a pentametric line, but then you have to have first the contact with that thing, you see. The symbol powers of number. Now, as he has talked of meter, same way you have got numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 digits. What we got? They are not just numbers, they got personalities. 9 has a personality, 8 has a character, 17 has a character, personality. They had number and form, of course, you see. And the secret code, the history of the world, everything is packed in that thing. And the gods are not aware of them. They have not learned about them, you see. World and nature's correspondence with the soul. Nature's correspondence with the soul. What nature has been communicating in soul. We had that description in the previous canto. Nature and soul, they are moving together, you see. What that correspondence is there between nature and soul, the being and the executive power, the consciousness force, being and the consciousness force, what correspondence they hang out, what understanding they hang out, what kind of exchanges have taken place among them. They are secretly kept their hidden chamber, and the gods are not aware of them. You see, gods are not learned about them. You see. But Ashwapati has that knowledge now, you see. That is the beauty of it. Ashwapati has that knowledge now, you see. And nature's correspondence to the soul are written in the mystic heart of life. So this is the secret knowledge of which the gods are not aware. The working of things here, of the dynamics of this creation.